In the shadowy world of geopolitics, where alliances and enmities shift like the sands of the desert, there exists a question that has fueled countless debates and conspiracy theories. Did Israel create Hamas? This intriguing historical story takes us back to a time when the Middle East was a cauldron of conflicting interests, and the answer to this question is anything but straightforward. Our tale begins in the late 1980s, amidst the turbulence of the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation. The situation was dire for both Israelis and Palestinians. The occupied territories were ablaze with anger, frustration, and resistance, and the Israeli authorities were grappling with a growing insurgency. In the midst of this turmoil, a group known as Hamas emerged, seemingly from nowhere, and captured the attention of the world. Hamas, an acronym for Harakat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya, Islamic Resistance Movement, portrayed itself as a grassroots movement that was deeply rooted in the Palestinian society, fighting for Palestinian self-determination. Their influence grew rapidly in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. They provided social services to the impoverished and desperate Palestinian population, gaining the reputation of a capable and organized entity. However, rumors and speculations soon began to circulate about the origins and motivations behind this enigmatic group. Some claimed that Israel had a hand in the rise of Hamas. They viewed it as a counterbalance to the secular Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, led by Yasser Arafat. The PLO was seen as a more prominent and uncompromising adversary in the eyes of the Israelis. As the story goes, the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad may have provided covert support to Hamas during its early years. The idea was to foster division among the Palestinians and weaken the PLO's grip on the region. This theory is bolstered by the fact that, in the late 1980s, when Hamas was emerging, Israeli authorities did not take significant actions to suppress it. Some argue that Israel may have allowed the flow of funds to Hamas from external sources, with the belief that this would counterbalance the PLO's power. The conspiracy theories didn't stop there. Some alleged that Israel had played a role in the formation of Hamas itself. They claimed that Israel had used its intelligence apparatus to encourage the development of Islamist organizations in the Palestinian territories as a counterforce to the more secular Palestinian nationalist movements. By doing so, Israel might have sought to fragment Palestinian resistance and thwart the chances of a united front against the Israeli occupation. Conspiracy theories aside, it's essential to recognize that the situation in the Middle East is incredibly complex. The rise of Hamas can also be attributed to various internal and external factors. The failure of the Oslo Accords in the early 1990s left many Palestinians disillusioned, and the PLO's perceived failure to secure Palestinian rights and statehood added to this disillusionment. Furthermore, the rise of Hamas is often seen as an unintended consequence of Israeli policies rather than a deliberate creation. Hamas's trajectory evolved over the years. It transformed from a group focused on resistance against Israeli occupation to a political and military organization that governs the Gaza Strip. Its relationship with Israel has since been marked by conflict and violence, with the two sides engaged in numerous confrontations, including the Gaza Wars. In the world of espionage and covert operations, separating fact from fiction can be a daunting task. The question of whether Israel created Hamas remains a topic of debate, with arguments on both sides. What is clear, however, is that the situation in the Middle East is shaped by a complex web of historical events, political interests, and regional dynamics. The story of Hamas and its origins is just one small piece of this intricate puzzle, reminding us that the truth can often be as elusive as the shifting sands of the desert. The rise of Hamas cannot be attributed to a single cause or actor, but rather to a multitude of factors that were interconnected and shaped by the turbulent history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The complex and multifaceted nature of this issue highlights the intricacies of the Middle East's political landscape, where historical events and decisions have far-reaching consequences that ripple through time and continue to shape the region's destiny. As the years passed, Hamas went through several significant phases, from being primarily a grassroots resistance movement to evolving into a governing authority in the Gaza Strip. The group's charter, with its strong Islamic and anti-Israeli rhetoric, became a source of concern for many in the international community. It was often interpreted as a direct threat to the existence of the State of Israel. The dynamics between Israel and Hamas have been marked by periods of tension, intermittent ceasefires, and all-out conflicts. The ongoing blockade of the Gaza Strip by Israel, in response to rocket attacks and security concerns, has resulted in a humanitarian crisis that has drawn widespread international attention. It's essential to reiterate that the question of whether Israel created Hamas remains a subject of debate, with no definitive evidence to prove or disprove this theory. Some argue that Israel may have played an inadvertent role by not taking stronger actions against the emerging group, while others firmly believe that there was a more active, deliberate involvement in its creation. Regardless of the origins, Hamas is a complex entity with its own history, goals, and motivations, and its interactions with Israel have had profound consequences for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In conclusion, the story of whether Israel created Hamas is a mysterious and enigmatic one, reflective of the intricate and tumultuous history of the Middle East. As the region continues to grapple with the enduring Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the question of Hamas's origins serves as a reminder that the past is an essential key to understanding the present, and that the answers may remain buried beneath layers of intrigue, speculation, and shifting alliances in this complex and enduring geopolitical puzzle. Thanks for watching the video. This is a new channel with a big mission: to bring you the most intriguing stories that go beyond history. We would love your support. Subscribe, like the video, and turn on post notifications to never miss a video.